Facebook? Hold on. I'm going to tell you. Yeah, we are on Facebook. Hey, Facebook Live family. How's it going? We're going to start the Geaux Rouge show in a couple seconds. Give me a second. Give me a second.
Let's go, Franz. You want to be on time, Franz? Come on, Franz.
I'm so late right now. It's not even funny.
All that.
Trust me, I'm feeling the anxiety, sister. I'm just going to share it, Brian. Rouge Radio Show. Episode 8. 9. Is it 9? It's 9. All right. Ready when you are, brother. Super. Stand by. Howdy, howdy, howdy. This is Franz Borghardt. You are listening either to Facebook Live right now or to Talk 107.3. Welcome. We've got some great things on this show today. Acrobats, educators, and entrepreneurs. So don't adjust your radio. Don't adjust your dial. We are going to have some fun today. First and foremost, congratulations to the LSU Tigers, national champions. Great thing for Louisiana, great thing for Baton Rouge. I will not talk about the legality of smoking cigars in the locker room in the Superdome. I'll save that for Brian Haldane's show in our Legally Served segment. But, man, I'm excited. Great things. So today we have Jamie Ray from Airseekers. We have Chris Meyer from New Schools for Baton Rouge along with Adonica. And then in our second show, we're going to have Louisiana Tech Park. Stephen Loy is going to come in and talk about what they're doing over there, as well as an entrepreneur. We're going to have Cody Louviere from King Crow Studios. So before we jump in with some aerial acrobatics, Geaux Rouge is brought to you by the following sponsors. We have Sullivan Steakhouse, your neighborhood steakhouse. We have Louisiana Tech Park. We have the law offices of Smith, Shanklin, and Sosa, a premier go-to personal injury law firm. Realtor Brittany Melanson at Keller Williams Red Stick Partners, and last but not least, and probably most important, the Borghardt Law Firm. That's my law firm. That's what I do for a living, right? Shameless.
How'd you land them as a sponsor, man?
I made them pay. Sweat equity, baby. Sweat equity. So, two things we have coming up that I need to talk about today, Jamie, before we jump in. Wingamania and the Breck Swamp Art Spectacular. Wingamania is an event that I'm spearheading through Geaux Rouge. It is a charity wing festival to benefit Mary Bird Perkins. It's going to be March 5th, Thursday, March 5th from 6 to 9 at Tin Roof. Go to the Geaux Rouge Facebook page for more information. It's going to be a wingapalooza. A wingapalooza, yes. Over between 10 and 15 different chicken wing sponsors. Your ticket, all the proceeds go to Mary Bird Perkins. Your ticket gets you pretty much as many wings as you want to eat. Secondly, Breck is having the Swamp Art Spectacular at the Bluebonnet Swamp Thursday, January 16th from 5:30 to 7:30. We're going to have over 100 different artists. It's just a good art event, and I don't know if you've ever been to the Bluebonnet Swamp. It's a great spot, and it's one of those Baton Rouge areas that not everybody knows about, but you should go at least once. Lots of good wildlife and scenery. So I wanted to talk about those two events. But enough about events. Right now, in studio, I have the famous Jamie Ray. She's famous, or infamous, from Airseekers. Hey, Jamie, what's going on?
How are you?
So, I am doing great. So we invited Jamie today because she did not know this when I reached out to her, but I have actually seen you perform a couple of times. And you guys do some amazing art, acrobatic art. I'm going to let you describe it better than what I just did. and I told myself I need to have Baton Rouge know about what you guys are doing because it is just awesome. So tell them a little bit about who you are.
Well, thank you. So my company, Airseekers, is an acrobatic movement company. We're more performance-driven than sort of the fitness aspect
Right.
of things. But we do offer entertainment and instruction here in Baton Rouge. I've been teaching for about 5 years, and I teach things all the way from aerial apparatuses, which can include, the long hanging fabrics that you may have seen,
Right.
or the metal ring that
Right.
everyone calls the
Right.
hoop. It's actually called a lyra.
A lyra.
A lyra.
Okay.
Trapeze. And then also partner acrobatics, which is in my opinion, it's a little bit more of an accessible thing for a lot of people.
Okay.
You can walk in with almost no fitness background and train partner acrobatics, and you learn with another person. So it really improves like communication and trust, and so kind of wrapping up some social aspects as well as
Okay.
fitness and community.
So you perform all over the country, right?
I do.
All right. So, but this is housed in Baton Rouge, right?
Yes.
So there's two parts of this I want to talk about. So first, the educational component. If you're interested in kind of learning what you do, so to speak, on a smaller level maybe, how would they get in touch with you guys to take courses? And then we're going to talk about the courses in a second.
Well, on social media, everywhere you would look us up is just by my company, Airseekers.
Okay.
It's one word.
Okay.
And you can book right from our Facebook page. I'll take you to a page with all of our available classes. And so it's relatively easy. We teach our classes out of Uptown Climbing.
Okay.
I've been with them since the very beginning, and they're amazing. And they also are a 13,000 square foot climbing facility.
Which is helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. So lots of fitness options and fun family-oriented things going on there all the time. You should also check them out.
Cool.
But yeah, they have been kind enough to allow me to come in there and do my thing since the get-go. And we teach partner acrobatics and aerial classes all week long. And I also teach hand balancing if you're interested in that.
So if someone like Brian Haldane, who doesn't have a lot of gymnastics experience, or I assume you don't have a lot of gymnastics experience, Brian.
You assume.
Oh. So if someone like Franz Borghardt, who has no experience in any of this stuff, were interested, would I be okay taking these courses without any experience? What experience do you need to take your courses?
You would need to be able to make it up the stairs to my studio. That's
Awesome.
the fitness requirement.
Awesome. All right. So basically, you're teaching people both the how to. You're working with them on strength conditioning and the artistic components of all this. So if an apprehension is, hey, I was not the person in high school that did gymnastics, that's not a deal breaker for them.
No,
Okay,
absolutely
cool.
not.
Now, the other side of what you do is the actual creative performance part, which
Yes.
I have to talk to you about. So I saw you first perform, I think, at a Susan G. Komen Big Wig event at Louviere, and it was awesome. It was a big wigs under the big top kind of themed event, and you were basically, I think you were on the ring, but it may have been
It was the fabrics.
it was the fabrics. Okay, so talk to me about that. Like, you get hired by different businesses, different charities to basically do what you love doing, and there's a performance part of it, there's a creativity part of it. Tell me all about it. I want to hear.
Well, it's wonderful to be able to do what I love and actually make a little money at it.
That's nice, right?
It doesn't escape me that a lot of people
Doesn't
don't get to. Yeah, it doesn't suck. I didn't know if I was allowed to say that. It doesn't suck. So I love being able to come in and provide entertainment that you don't necessarily see every day in Baton Rouge at these events. And I know that especially for people like Susan G. Komen, who are constantly doing events, they're trying not to replicate, what's already been done
Right.
100 times. So to be asked to be a part of events like that and to to just, and also because a lot of the time the fundraisers that do hire me are reasons and causes that I actually really believe in.
Yeah.
So it's lovely to be able to get in there and brainstorm with an event planner, like, what are we going for here? What's the story we want to tell? And a lot of what I do is physical storytelling.
Right.
I tell people that all the time. What do? I tell stories with my body,
So, and what's cool to me as a lay person is it's cool enough that you're doing the stuff you're doing, right? But add an element of the art to it. The costuming, the I want to use the word accessory, but it's sometimes you have props, so to speak, that are part of the demonstration or performance. It's amazing. So we've got about 2 minutes left. Got anything coming up that we need to know about, or?
Actually, yeah, I'm actually really excited. I've partnered with of Moving Colors production this year, and I'm going to be doing Kick It Out at the Dunham School on January 25th. And then we got some other projects coming up, City Bound, which will be just something around the city, and then we're doing Ebb and Flow.
Awesome.
So some community events that I'll be doing include those.
So Jamie,
Blues Fest.
Oh, Blues Fest,
probably,
too?
yeah.
Wow. Okay, so if you guys want more information on either performances or courses, go to Airseekers on social media.
That's right.
They do have a social media page. I also will be giving you guys some love on the Geaux Rouge page.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for coming in,
Thank
Jamie.
you for having
this
me.
This is really cool stuff. We've got a purple and gold hat for you right behind you.
Can I put it on now?
Oh, you absolutely can put it on. There's nothing. Jamie Ray's wearing one of the purple and gold Geaux Rouge hats. Isn't that awesome?
How am I looking?
You're looking pretty
Are you
awesome.
doing it?
Yeah, we're going to get Brian Haldane to take a photo of you. So, yeah, we're going to take a short little break, and then we're going to get New Schools for Baton Rouge. And so Facebook Live, we're going to keep on rolling. Brian's just going to have to do some editing work. So, all right, let's.
Okay.
You're good. I'll stand up because I'm dumpy looking.
Okay.
Chris and Donica. We're going to take a photo, and then you're up.
I don't know where your camera's at.
It's the one that looks like a camera.
The icon that looks.
This is on photography.
Sorry.
There we go.
The one that was a camera. All right. Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you.
And if you need anything, let me know. And then share, and then I will send you stuff that you can utilize.
Absolutely.
All right. So pull that chair over. Oh yeah. So thanks to the marvels of production, this is seamless. Like when we do the radio show on Saturdays, it's going to be as if there was no break there, Brian. But I'm going to let Brian tell me when to start talking. All right. Our second guest for today is New Schools for Baton Rouge. And I've got Chris Meyer and Adonica in. Hi, guys.
What's up?
So I love New Schools for Baton Rouge, and I wanted to have you guys in at least for a little bit this time. I have plans for a bigger kind of scenario. But look, New Schools for Baton Rouge, y'all are winning right now. Y'all are on a winning streak, so to speak. Chris, tell us a little bit about what New Schools does, and then I want Adonica to talk about change makers. So what's New Schools?
Well, I think the community's on a winning streak, and we want to keep it going. So New Schools for Baton Rouge, we were founded 8 years ago by community leaders focused on giving every kid in the city access to a great school. And so we get up every day thinking about and working hard to attract the best schools in America, to help great schools in our own communities serve more kids. That's what we're all about. Let's give more kids an opportunity to attend a great school. And, I think for the past several years, we've expanded a number of high-quality options for families. We've helped grow or start 19 schools at this point. Over 7,000 Baton Rouge families are making a different choice into a better school. And the schools we've worked with are the fastest growing academically in all of Baton Rouge and among the fastest in the state. So we're super excited about the future here.
So opportunities, options, that's what I like about change makers. It's not about one model. It's about you being able to see a landscape of different selections and saying, hey, maybe this one's good for me. So as a component of New Schools, you've got a group of young professionals, or not necessarily young professionals, because when I did it, I wasn't young. I was the old dude. You got a group of young innovative and attentive professionals called change makers that are a part of this process and getting some good, I guess, education themselves on the different educational options in Baton Rouge. Talk to me about change makers.
Yeah, so as I joined the New Schools team, I thought, a lot of my friends and family were like, okay, we knew what you did before, but explain to me this New Schools and what you do in the community. And so we started thinking about an opportunity for people to get involved deeper. We see it kind of like a Leadership Baton Rouge or one of the leadership classes that you see that's purely focused on K-12 education.
Okay.
So we don't, we're governance type agnostic, and we just ask that people give us a little bit of their time to learn more about the issues facing K-12 education in Baton Rouge. It's super complex, and so we take that time to go really deep and expose them to the different options and the different school models.
So what I like about it is you guys give presentations, and there's an interactive. I mean, it's not fluff, right? Like the individuals in this program question. They question the presenters. They question you guys about, well, what about this? What about this? And what I liked about it is part of the point is there isn't always a universal right, quote unquote, answer.
Right.
And we need to be asking these tough questions. What I really liked about it was actually getting to see schools.
Yes.
And getting to go to places that you normally wouldn't get to go. And then in particular, getting to travel to other places and seeing how those schools. We went to San Antonio my year. So talk to me a little bit about the make and model of a typical change maker.
Yeah, so we look for someone who is a leader in the community, someone who has an open mind, who doesn't necessarily have to be someone who knows a lot about education in Baton Rouge. We feel like education is an issue that impacts the entire community, and a lot of times we find ourselves in the same rooms with the same people, and so we've been really intentional about making sure that this class's composition represents a wide cross-section of leaders in Baton Rouge.
Right.
We don't discriminate on the basis of the choices that you make for your own children.
Right.
Great schools for every kid in this city matter to all of us, whether you put your own kids in private school, whether you put your own kids in public school, whether you choose to take advantage of one of the charter schools that are in the NSBR portfolio. And so we just want to make sure that the group is representative of our community, that's representative of all of the different areas of our community, and that these people have an open mind to learning more about the challenges facing us in education.
So the reason I went through it, and I've been preaching this to a lot of different folks lately, you need to care about the education system before it impacts you and your kid. And then after.
And after.
And
right.
after.
Absolutely.
I'm an example of we chose Mercy, Our Lady of the Mercy, because we love the school. But more to the point, it was 6 blocks from our house. It was, I'd like to tell you it was just because Mercy was that awesome, but it was a convenience factor. That being said, I am very much invested on us improving our educational system because we've had this conversation before. Everything's connected.
Absolutely.
Right. Criminal justice, employment, education, economics. So I do think one of the great things about this is not all the change makers have kids.
No.
Some of them may have kids one day. Some of them may say, hey, I don't want any more kids. Mm-hmm. And so I think that plays into that whole, we want you to care before you have to care.
That's right.
Yeah.
And look, we don't blame people from only focusing on this when it becomes their moment in the sun, but that doesn't improve anything, right?
Right.
So
thriving public schools impact all of us, right?
Yeah.
And in order to have a growing community, we've got to have a good solution around schools, and we know that. And then the other thing is, like you said about your own choice, I have four kids, and I might choose a different option for every one of those kids.
Absolutely.
And the choices that you make around your own kids' education are very personal, and so we recognize that as we start to source our class.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate the voice that you and others who've been part of Changemakers so far are already using. I mean, we see, when you've gone through that, you learn that there are tens of thousands of kids in this community that have had no option, no ability to pay, no ability to move, and so they've been stuck with what has been traditionally an underperforming and failing school. And I think now seeing the voices of leaders like you getting involved in the next choice of who's going to be our district superintendent, who's going to be our next state superintendent, these decisions matter to kind of keep the process going so that we can continue to win on behalf of all kids and have great schools in every community.
And when we have those great schools, just to emphasize what you just said, we are all winning.
That's right.
Right. So I can't tell you how many times in the criminal justice system I've represented folks when I'm getting their social intake, and it's like from a generational standpoint, their father never really had a good opportunity at education. They don't really have a good opportunity at education. They have kids who are little, and you're like, man, what do you know? And they'll tell you, they're like, man, if I had some more options, I might not be here. And then you get them talking about their kids and how they don't want their kids to go down that road. It's really impactful. So now look, we had some change making coming up soon, right? You're about to pick a new class.
That's right.
Talk to me about how you might become a change maker, Donica.
Yeah, we have coffee chats throughout the year where we encourage people to come and learn more about NSBR and the work that we're doing in the community. And we also have an application process that opens in the spring, and we'll continue to publicize that through the NSBR Facebook page. But we're open to people who just want to learn more about who we are and what we do. We're always up to take people to coffee and have a conversation about our work in the community.
That's actually, in fact, Brian, that's in fact how I met Adonica. Adonica had coffee and breakfast with me. Where did we go eat downtown?
I think we went to Christina's.
No.
No, Mimi.
Yeah, I had never been. And what was interesting was, and I get blowback. I can say this. You guys don't need to say this. I get blowback, right? If I'm doing stuff with you guys, I have public school educators that are like, "What are you doing, hanging out with New Schools for Baton Rouge?" And I'm like, it's not like that. It's we had a very candid conversation about, at the time I was looking heavily at the Flame program. My wife was looking at Mercy. We had just moved, and so there was never a moment where it was like, you need to do this kind of school. Yeah. It was really like Adonica said earlier, like, look, I got kids, and what works for this one is not going to work for this one. And now the other thing I feel compelled to talk about Adonica, about Chris, while she's here, is Adonica is in a little run tribe that I have been trying. This is episode 9.
We're coming.
This is episode 9 of Geaux Rouge. She is in a Iron Man group of different professional women. One's an engineer, one's a doctor. She's Adonica. And they go to Ironman competitions, and they support each other and all this stuff. It is an amazing story. The problem with successful people is they're busy. It's not like me. Like, I'm just hanging out here. I'm a lawyer, and so they're busy, and I can't get the doctor to the line scheduled. So I'm just telling you, I'm not calling you out, Adonica. It feels like a call out.
It feels like a call out.
I'm just saying, if you're listening, Jamie, Tatiana, we got to get you on the show. So
I think they get together at like 4:30 every
you
morning.
You are welcome
so I
to
think
run
you're
with
welcome
us
to do a remote
Thursdays
there.
at 4 a.m.
Don't y'all do coffee? Don't y'all do coffee afterwards sometimes before child pickup?
Maybe. Sometimes.
So what I may do is I may interview them before they run so that they're not glistening in the sun, so to speak. All right, so we talked about change makers. Now we got a little bit of time left. If you want to get more information about some of the new positions we're going to be selecting, superintendent, where can you get more info? Let's say I'm a citizen that's like, I don't really know a lot about the educational system, and I just want to become informed. What would you advise?
We encourage people to go to school board meetings, to go to community meetings, to be engaged in the process. I think that the school board has done a great job of opening up a listening series, and I think those public meetings are a great opportunity to get more engaged in the process. I think these decisions do matter to all of us, despite whatever decision you make for your own children, and we really want to make sure that the public is focused in on how important this is for our city.
So, Chris, if someone wants to get more information about change makers, where should they go on social media or the web?
Yeah, I mean, newschoolsbr.org is the best place. We have commentary there tracking what's happening in the superintendent search. We have the Changemakers application will go live there soon. And so that's the best place to keep up and follow. And I would just, echo what Adonica is saying. I mean, the most important thing is to get involved. We're about to make a selection for a leader who will, manage what is the largest sort of school system in the state. The one that, as it goes, will go the future of our economy, our livability, all the issues that are happening in the city really boil down, in our opinion, to education. And so this choice matters.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think education is probably the biggest. When I say everything's connected, I always start with education. Yeah. I think that is, if you can give a kid a good option and give them an opportunity. And look, we were in San Antonio, and these kids were like doing like college level crazy science stuff. Anyways, so look, we at Geaux Rouge have some wonderful hat swag for you right behind you, Adonica. I got blue and purple.
Oh,
blue and purple.
Right on.
You each get a hat. Before you go, Brian, I'll take a picture of you. We appreciate you guys coming in. I cherished my time as a change maker. Brian, in fact, I get to go to Denver to do some school touring this April. So,
Fun.
yeah, right? Denver's a fun place. I mean, there's food, there's art, there's other stuff that I can't talk about on the radio. So that I wouldn't do anyway. I'm
Right.
just saying.
No. We're talking about education here, man.
education, not mind expanding substances. So, Talk 107.3. So, anyways, thank you guys. Y'all have a great day. And if there's anything you guys need, let me know. And we'll also share stuff on Geaux Rouge.
Great.
Good seeing you.
Thank you.
Chris, y'all grab a hat, and then Brian will take a photo of you guys.
Thanks.
And yes, so look, we're going to go on break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Louisiana Tech Park, and we've got an entrepreneur from King Crow Studios. We'll be right back.
Stick around, Facebook.
Yes. We'll take a picture of everybody with that. Well, you don't have to put the hat on.
Oh, I don't have to put it on?
No, if you don't want to.
That's fine. I
Your
don't
hair
mind.
looks magnificent.
It's okay. It's okay. Look,
Which
let's
color
see.
did you go with? Blue?
I want another purple.
Is there no? Yeah, I got one downstairs for you. Just take a blue one for now, and I'll
You gotta put it on.
Chris, I don't.
I mean, I ruined my hair.
She didn't let
I
you
took
have the
one for
purple one.
team. No.
So I have. We'll meet up, and I'll make sure you get one. I also have red ones. Sweet. So you didn't give him the purple one?
My God, you see how spoiled he is?
Yes, he is. Love seeing you guys.
Golden child. Thank you.
All right. So Facebook Live. We're about to have our second segment. Hold on one second. Let me go grab the tech part, people. I would never go to Colorado and just smoke copious amounts of weed. I would never do that. Come on in, guys. Come on in.
Did you get any sleep?
About an hour in my car.
Brian, howdy.
So we've got Stephen Loy, guys, and Cody Louviere.
Louviere.
That was close enough,
You were
dude.
close.
Louviere. We're about to go back live on the radio. So look, get comfy. Only thing I'm going to tell you is these mics are not as sensitive as they look. So they're not as sensitive as they look. Maybe they're sensitive.
No, they do. They have they look
watch
like they have
Lifetime.
feelings.
They watch
They're-
Lifetime and cry. I don't know.
They do.
So
A lot of Hallmark movies.
you
Do I have time to powder my nose?
need to go
Yes.
to the bathroom? Yes, it's right around the corner.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it. I mean, way to break up the momentum there. Wait, Facebook Live, Stephen Loy's using the bathroom, and that's why we're going to be waiting for a second. So, Cody, I actually have not met you before, Franz. This is Brian Haldane. Cody, would we call you the CEO, or what do we call you? The founder?
Yeah, all the hats.
King
Founder-
Crow Studios,
Yes.
who just landed a pretty nice Air Force contract, right?
With the DOD.
Can I talk about that on the radio or no?
Yes, there's a lot of public information out about it. We've already had press releases, so I can't give you any of the behind-the-scenes details, but we can talk about the stuff that's been on the internet so far.
Okay, cool. I won't go.
Oh
into-
wait, I read about y'all in Business Report last week, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Business Report. I think New Orleans Biz, Advocate. The Tech Park helped us get the word out. So what's the format? What's the kind of? I'll see.
It's super easy.
Okay,
We're going to talk. We will talk with Steven about the Tech Park. They're one of the show sponsors.
gotcha.
You know who's not up there, Brian? King Crow Studios is not up there. Shameless. So we're going to talk. We're going to talk with Steven about Tech Park. What does the Tech Park do? This is a 20-minute segment, so we've got plenty of time.
Okay.
And then we're going to start talking about the individual entrepreneurs, and then we're going to end with you and how you kind of progress through it. So we talk about life.
Yeah, I mean, he's part of the whole conversation. I mean, he's the, so it all comes together. Nice hat, by the way.
I got this. You got a blue hat waiting for you right there
All right.
as well. Tell me when you're ready, buddy.
Let's check everyone's mics one more time
Check,
just to make
check,
sure we're
check,
all on
check,
the same
check.
page.
Hey,
You're
good morning, Brian. How are
You're
you?
good to go. You're good
Check,
to go.
check.
Excellent.
All right. This is segment 2 of episode 9 of the Geaux Rouge radio show. Today's episode, acrobats, educators, and entrepreneurs. I'll say that again. Acrobats, educators, and entrepreneurs. At this time in studio, we've got Stephen Loy from Louisiana Tech Park and Cody from King Crow Studios. Before we jump into a great conversation about business incubation, entrepreneurship, and the cool stuff that's going on with King Crow right now, we're going to thank our sponsors. Our sponsors for the Geaux Rouge show are Sullivan's Steakhouse, our neighborhood steakhouse. Louisiana Tech Park's sponsor. How about that? How about that? Law offices of Smith, Shanklin, and Sosa, a premier go-to personal injury firm. These guys are not on billboards. They're better than that, and they are going to do some great work for you if you are in a pickle. We have Realtor Brittany Melanson at Keller Williams Red Stick Partners. I really like Brittany a lot. She is a single mom entrepreneur, and she is hustling, moving houses, helping people sell, helping people buy. Definitely check out Realtor Brittany Melanson at Keller Williams Red Stick Partners. And last but not least, the Borghardt Law Firm. I don't know if you knew this about me, Stephen. I'm a criminal defense attorney.
Are you really?
Yes, and I have a firm called the Borghardt Law Firm. It's
know
kind of
that.
like King Crow Studios, but no, nothing like it. So
Just like it, but different.
I actually went online and did some research on Cody's company, and man, that's some cool stuff that we're going to have to talk about. So look, in studio, I told you we have acrobats, educators, and entrepreneurs, and so I've got Stephen Loy from the Tech Park, and I've got Cody Louviere. I butchered it. I'm sorry, dude. King Crow Studios. So guys, what's going on? How's life?
Great. Being fueled by a lot of coffee this morning.
Yeah,
Past my bedtime last night. But that's
yesterday was my birthday.
Yep.
I got a national championship birthday gift. Life is good.
Yeah,
Life
yeah.
is good. So, all right, Stephen, let's jump on in.
All right.
You are with the Tech Park. Tell us a little bit about what you do with the Tech Park and what the Tech Park is.
So the Tech Park is the hub for tech-enabled companies here in the Baton Rouge, really in Louisiana.
Right.
So any company that uses technology in a unique way, they're designed to help you, take you to the next level. Our sweet spot for companies are companies that are ready to go to market in about 6 months or in the growth stage, but we can also help companies that are a little bit further down, more startups. But we also have several different programs. We can help companies who are looking for funding. We don't have a bank account that we can just write checks out from, but we make sure that they're in a good position to go out and find funding, whether that means friends, families, or fools, talking to friends who maybe have a couple coins to rub together who can invest in your company. Also, if there are angels out there, people that have wealth that want to invest in your company, we make sure that you have everything in order to be able to do that. You don't just go out and say, "Hey, I've got a great idea. Give me money." It doesn't work like that.
I can tell you firsthand from having the Geaux Rouge radio show that
Yeah.
that's just not how it works. So let me ask you this. Let me interrupt you real fast because I have wondered this. I do a lot of work with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I do some MC work for
Yeah.
HBR. So angel investors.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you're a company. Let's say you're Cody and you have a new company that doesn't have a awesome contract with the Air Force.
Right.
And you need money, right? You need capital.
Mm-hmm.
And you have this angel investor come out of nowhere that's willing to give you a ton of money, but they want to gobble up a big portion of your business.
Right.
Do you guys help the entrepreneurs at the Tech Park kind of protect them from giving away the milk without people really, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's more about value. And
Right,
what is
right.
this person going to bring?
Right.
If the person's just bringing money, that's fine, but that's just half part of the equation.
Right.
You want, if Franz is going to invest in my company and he's going to give me, and Franz is going to give me millions of dollars, as I'm sure you have in your bank account right now.
Borghardt Law Firm, baby.
There you go. But you would also bring something else to the table with
Right.
your legal background. And that's what you really want in an angel, and really anyone that's going to invest in your company.
You want a partnership, so to speak.
Right. And so, if you have a partner who's going to help you grow and to go into bigger markets, you need to ask yourself, would you rather a big pie of mediocre company, or would you rather a smaller pie of a super duper company that can go a lot further? And so, but you do need to make sure that you do that in a thoughtful way. You don't want to give away 70% of a company to one individual. You want to make sure that you keep control of your company, and that you can still go with the vision that you have for your company.
How many entrepreneurs are housed at the Tech Park?
So we help anywhere from 20 to 25 companies. They're not maybe all housed inside the Louisiana Technology Park, 7117 Florida Boulevard, but they're located throughout Louisiana. We have some in New Orleans. We have helped people over in Lafayette, Lake Charles area, and so the value that the tech park building itself is, it keeps you from having to work out of coffee shops and restaurants in your house.
Cigar shops.
Yes, or cigar shops in your case. But it also provides, if you're also starting to bring on employees, you don't want these maybe strangers or these employees to be working at your dining room table while your 2-year-old child is playing, in the kitchen next door. So we provide a 24/7 secured access that you, in order to enter the building, you have your eyes scanned, retina scanners.
Wait a minute. You guys have retina scanners?
Yeah.
That's kind of legit.
It's easily one of the most impressive things when you bring people there for the first time, especially if you underplay it. You're just like, yeah, follow me. Hold on 1 second.
Retina scanner. Like, to get into this building, I just got to slide on through. I mean, it's. And by the way, I don't know if everybody knows this. Slight detour here. The Guarantee Media Building, downstairs, first floor, they have millions of dollars worth of Native American art just situated there, right? Like, I'm not saying rob Guarantee. I'm just saying.
No. But what you are saying is, if you have a Cub Scout or a Boy Scout troop, we do tours and you can earn merit badges for it.
Yeah.
We do that regularly.
It's one of those. Tying this into entering into businesses and whatnot. It's a thing that I didn't realize and you take for granted sometimes, but it's quite an impressive display. But anyways, back to retina scanning.
Yeah, and the transition, there's a lot of people don't even know about the tech park. So we are in Bon Carré, which used to be Bon Marché Mall, and so we actually opened our doors in 2001. And so we do have companies that are what we call virtual tenants who come in. And they get all the amenities that the tech park can provide, except they just don't have an office per se there. But then we have other companies like King Crow Studios who brings, I think your office is about 1,000 square feet, and because of this new contract that he has, he's hiring people left and right. And so Cody doesn't want these people coming in and out of his house.
You don't want them at your house?
Yeah. I mean, or a large table at a coffee shop.
Right.
Yeah.
So one of the things you have not yet talked about that I love that the tech park does is the educational components to the business at large. I have taught a seminar or co-taught a seminar on drone law. We've talked about AI and the law. I believe it or not, I gave a presentation on artificial intelligence and criminal justice. It is in fact a hot topic in the industry right now. You guys offer a lot of educational opportunities. You generally feed people when you do it too.
Right.
And then there's also something I want us to talk about before we get to Cody, which is the pitch BR in the assisting companies in learning how to do the pitch.
Right.
So talk to me about the educational component, even though I just stole some of the thunder there.
That's right. That's great. So what you're talking about is Tech Park Academy.
Right.
And
right.
So it happens usually the second and third Thursday of every month. This month, it's happening January 30th. Registration and lunch starts at 11:30. The program starts right at noon, and we get you out at 1 o'clock. We want you to
fantastic.
Come in. Yeah. And so what when we were creating Tech Park Academy, we looked across the landscape, what was happening here in Baton Rouge as far as educating entrepreneurs and startups. And SCORE and SBDC, the Small Business Development Center, have fantastic workshops on how to start businesses. So we wanted to take it to the next level and talk about topics that were important for second stage companies, people who are in the growth cycle. And so that's where Tech Park Academy comes in. So on January 30th, we're having Hack Your Productivity by Chris Cummings, who actually just won the pitch competition.
I'm familiar.
Yeah,
Yes.
you've met him, haven't you?
Yeah.
And so if you get on our mailing list at latechpark.com, you'll get all the information about Tech Park Academy. But also, I would encourage entrepreneurs to look at SCORE Baton Rouge, which is located in the Tech Park. We provide them free space, and then the SBDC Small Business Development Center. They also do a lot of great educational opportunities as well. So the thing you were talking about was Pitch BR.
Oh yes.
So that's a quarterly event, and you're familiar with Shark Tank.
Oh yes.
Well, this is more like Guppy Tank, as you know.
keep going, but I'm going to correct you on that.
You don't think that's?
I think it's a different platform. So, and we, as the person who MCs these events, I'll say that part of the shtick of the event is telling people we aren't Shark Tank. Mm-hmm. We are here to build people and lift them up and not tear them down. Although Shark Tank's very entertaining. Yeah. Right? Because it is watching, there's nothing.
A TV show.
There's nothing that we love better than watching Dream Crush. Mm-hmm. Like people's dreams being slayed, there's nothing we love better than watching. What? You're looking at me, Haldane.
No. I did an interview with a guy who does a show on A&E called Court Cam. And the whole gist of the show is getting live reactions of people when they find out they're going to jail.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow. Like, the viewership for it is insane.
I'm just saying dream slaying. Shark Tank. So, anyways, pitch BR, not exactly like Shark Tank, but the concept of pitching to an audience, pitching to judges, that is similar, right?
That is similar.
Okay.
The value that it has for companies, it gives you real-world experience. So companies go up there and they pitch for about 10 minutes, and then the judges will ask questions about their business, and then the winner will receive anywhere from $1,000 to $100,000. It just depends on
so the major
specific event,
the major brew pitch event,
right? And the high stakes pitch
competition. Yeah, and we're going to talk about brew if we have time.
Yeah,
that was $100,000 in pledged investments.
You're right. Yeah,
that's big money.
Yeah.
I mean, that's big money.
Exciting, yeah.
In my world, I mean, that's big money. Maybe not in Brian's world.
Yeah.
Brian's a high roller.
Yeah.
So, anyways, all right. So, well, look, why don't we talk about Brew right now?
Okay.
So, you guys are involved and put on Brew, right?
Right.
Tell me about what Brew is.
So, Brew is Baton Rouge Entrepreneurship Week, and Wendy Overton over at our shop does a fantastic job of it, and it's really a week of just focusing on the entrepreneur here in our region, and it's everyone from startups to companies with guys with multi-million-dollar companies.
You guys had Brandon Landry as the MC.
Right.
You had people from different walks of life.
You had a service providers talking.
Yeah.
So it was
Business First Bank, who's always involved in the community, was there.
Stone Pigman. Plays a big part.
I mean, your MC for that event. Outstanding criminal defense attorney, as well as Geaux Rouge radio host, Franz Borghardt. Yes, I talk about myself in the third person.
You're one of those.
Yeah. So, no, I think it's an annual event.
Yeah.
The cost to go is what?
It all depends on which program. It's minuscule. I mean,
it's nothing.
It's $10 or something.
Yeah, it's
like
nothing.
That.
It's not going to break your bank.
Yeah, and it shouldn't keep you from coming. If it's really that, if it's that much of a hardship on you,
call Stephen up and
call Franz and he'll pay for it. We'll figure it out.
So. Well. The commonality, though, is what we're getting to is these events not only build the individual Tech Park members, but they're providing networking opportunities for you to meet people. And look, candidly, I was asked by someone recently when they saw me emceeing a pitch BR event, like, what are you doing? What are you doing emceeing a pitch BR event? There's no criminal defense attorneys there. And I'm like, yeah, I know. There's no other criminal defense attorneys there. Yeah. Not that Steven's going to get arrested for something, but candidly, that's the whole point behind networking is it's not always purposeful networking. Sometimes it's just, I just want to introduce somebody and build my little tribe up. And next thing you know, Tech Park, who has nothing to do with being a criminal defense attorney, is now one of the sponsors of the Geaux Rouge show.
Right.
So there is that networking component, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's also about meeting other like-minded entrepreneurs.
Right.
And that's, I know Cody, has been at the Tech Park, and that's one of the values that he talks about the Tech Park as well, is being with like-minded entrepreneurs. We have a building full of entrepreneurs, and there are guys there who are just starting, to others who have been around the block a time or two. And so the new guy is going through an issue that they think, oh my goodness, I'm the only one in the world who.
Meanwhile, Cody's smiling like,
no, dude. Cody's like, okay, that was last week, right?
Yeah.
So let me tell you how I got through it, and that's where a lot of those conversations happen at the coffee pod.
So speaking of Cody, Cody's here. He is kind of why you guys do what you do.
Absolutely.
He is an entrepreneur. So Cody, tell us a little bit about yourself and King Crow Studios.
Sure. So born and raised in Lake Charles. I've been in Baton Rouge for about a decade. I was always interested in business management, from offices to restaurants to consulting for small businesses. And whenever I found out about the Tech Park itself, I found out from someone that went by a couple of the rooms and was like, I saw video game posters in one of these rooms. You know, that's a place you should probably go check out. I had an initial meeting with Stephen and the other executive staff about a video game that I wanted to make. And that was my first foray into entrepreneurship. So every amenity that you both have been talking about, we utilized every step of the way, from getting private investment to building a small team to learning an exceptional amount during that first year of business, of the do's, don'ts, ups and downs, and then taking that information and helping out other people. Digital media, you know, I love Louisiana. We're generally about 10 years behind the curve on a lot of high-end technology. So to help bolster that and get rid of that stigma, we have the tech park. So if you're in an internationally digitally distributed business, we actually have people that can help you understand that environment. And the community of people that are there is amazing. But going back to, you know, we were making video games in the beginning. That was the idea, you know, business plan, competitor analysis, figured out what we were supposed to do. We learned a lot, and then I went to help out some other companies, and Stephen and Genevieve and other people at the tech park realized, look, we don't have an SME or someone with experience in the business side of digital media, and we started an initiative together with the intention of bringing more digital media companies there, and we did. We went from 3 to 7 in a year, and these are single business owners. These are sometimes a duo, or it's normally very small at first, and we were trying to help them find work, understand the environment. Then what we realized is we had so many talented developers there, we could all work together to accomplish these goals. And now that's what we're doing. We've been able to bring a bunch of people together, programmers, artists, producers, business developers, and we're making virtual reality training for ExxonMobil and the Air Force. If you would have ever told me years ago that this is what I would be doing now, I would have thought that was crazy. I'm like, we're making pixel art video games for computers and consoles. I was like, there's no way that we can make that jump. And it all started from a passion project where we got a VR development kit, and I was like, man, I love cooking and I love video games, and I was like, I want to make a video game where you're cooking gumbo. And we made a VR game where you're cooking gumbo, and it goes through a recipe list, every step it's shown. You stir the roux, you chop the sausage, you brown it. That single prototype is the technology that we have translated to the training, the VR training technology for Exxon and the Air Force.
So what I'm excited about is this is happening in Baton Rouge.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. And one of the reasons you guys are on, besides the fact that Steven gives me money every month, I mean, that's not why you're on, but one of the reasons you guys are on is I like having people on that are doing stuff that in your circle, people know what you guys are doing.
Right.
But man, how many people didn't know that we were doing what you just described in Baton Rouge? You know,
it's still
right.
an ongoing process.
Right.
You know?
Right. So my question for you is, you've gotten some success doing what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
What is the graduation process? I mean, Tech Park's not going to put their boot behind your back and kick you out of the house, so to speak. But what's the exit process? Because that's part of this, right? Is when you get to the point where you're an entrepreneur and you're stable and you're turning that proverbial corner,
Mm-hmm.
what happens then?
Well, from the Tech Park standpoint, is we're our economic driver for the region.
Right.
And so what we want to do is build as many successes like Cody as we can.
Mm-hmm.
And we are also blessed with having some space there.
Right.
We have about 45,000 square feet. So what we want to do is take Cody, and he's doing fantastic with this Air Force thing, but how can we double that? Right now, Cody's a $1 million plus.
No big
company.
deal. $1 million.
You know.
But what can we do? Can we get him to be a $20 million company?
Right.
And that's what we want to do. And then on the other side of that, there are guys who don't have success, and that's also where we have to have those hard conversations with companies and said, we love you, but this just isn't working out. And they see that at the bottom line and know that that's happening.
So I'm going to challenge Cody, even though I don't know you very well. I'm going to challenge you to be a mentor to others, because it is, and I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, he is.
Because often is the case that everybody wants to get where you are, and they don't always understand the journey, and they don't always understand the hard work that goes into it because it looks easy, right?
Sure.
From the outside looking in, from a marketing PR standpoint, we are supposed to make it look easy.
It's the glacier. It's
right.
the iceberg.
Yeah. I mean, Franz, you got to go Rouge radio show. You didn't have to do anything to get that.
That was so easy.
I don't do any, So I'm loving the fact that you are providing that mentoring, and I know that you do that as well.
Right. So
look, one more time to get more information on the tech park or to get information on King Crow Studios. Where would we want to go?
latechpark.com.
Okay.
And we have kingcrowstudios.com. You can find my email address on there. It's Cody@kingcrowstudios.com. And you'll always find us at Baton Rouge Entrepreneurship Week and several other entrepreneurial and networking events around town.
So
we've got a lot of things going on at the Tech Park. Apprentice apprenticeship program, we're Brew, and so it's just latechpark.com, and then a lot of our sister organizations associated with that, Nexus LA.
So I would highly recommend, folks, that you go to Brew events or Brew. I would highly recommend that when you see a Pitch BR event, Brian, you go to Pitch BR. It is an interesting and a great networking event.
Right.
So thank you guys. I have some hats. Steven's been trying to get a Geaux Rouge, a blue Geaux Rouge hat.
Yeah, me too, Steven.
Yeah, I know, right?
You keep it up. Keep it up. You got a couple more months of pledging, Brian, and then when we initiate you,
This has been about a year process for me.
So speaking of Geaux Rouge, if you want to get more information about Geaux Rouge, you could go to www.gauxrouge.net. You can go to Geaux Rouge's Facebook page, which is my main hub for communicating. Over 18,000 followers on that thing.
Wow.
I didn't even know. I don't know if I know 10 people, let alone 18,000. We're also on Instagram and Twitter. I am trying desperately to learn Twitter. It's just not. I don't know. So yeah, you've been listening to Franz Borghardt along with Cody and Steven. Thank you guys for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
Look, next week, we've got some great things lined up. We've got some female entrepreneurs that are working on a project near the airport that's going to make all of our lives better. I can't talk about it yet. And then Mark Vincent from Rebel Graphics talking about all the community
You're
stuff.
bringing Mark up in here.
Oh, I'm bringing Mark up in here.
All right.
Rebel Graphics is one of the most giving community organizations I've ever encountered, and it's time that people give them some love about it. So Mark's going to be coming up, as well as some of his folks. So, yeah, Franz Borghardt, Brian Haldane, Master Controls. Listen, thank you guys for listening. You can check us out on Saturdays at noon at Talk 107.3, and that's about it. And then after I take a photo with them, I need to do the short 15-minute. Yeah. All right, guys.
Great. Cool. Hope that was all right.
Tell Genevieve that when she's willing to earn it, she can have one.
So, sorry about the music in cue. The bumper song I tried to play y'all in with, I wanted to play the theme to Silicon Valley.
Oh, yeah.
But somehow it got replaced in my.
Oh no.
Replaced it. Like the file ended up being something completely different.
You can wear the hat if you want to, or just hold that.
So what music did you bring in?
I think it was Macklemore,
It was.
but that's not what it was labeled as, nor what it was supposed to be. So,
Gents, all right, so you just need to tell me next time you want to have an entrepreneur on.
Okay. How often do we want to do? Because we were having a team meeting yesterday. It was like, is there a schedule? Is this weekly, monthly, daily?
So-
Call you every.
Monthly would get intense for radio, but I do the Thirsty Thursdays. So what we can do is we can have 2 entrepreneurs on the Thirsty Thursday, whenever you want.
Okay.
So then that's a Thursday, obviously.
Is it still at Sullivan?
It's still Sullivan's. We can do live feed. I have equipment now to do live feeds from Tech Park, so I can do that whenever you want.
Okay.
But for radio, I would say correlate it to if you have something coming up that you can talk about.
Yeah.
We'll schedule it because right now I'm about 4 episodes scheduled,
Okay.
but I can move people around.
Okay. Yeah.
But I would say correlate it to, hey, we got a Pitch BR event, and then we're going to bring 2 entrepreneurs.
Right.
And that way we can have a purpose. Unless, like, for example, he lands another multi-million-dollar whatever,
Right.
then we get back on and all that.
Yeah.
But I would say once a month is plenty. But look for the untraditional ways of getting you guys on. Also, your events. I'll do Geaux Rouge Facebook Live, from your little luncheon thingies and all
Right.
that. So,
Okay.
all right, brother.
Sounds
Be good.
I appreciate you.
Nice meeting you, Franz.
All right. I'm
Thanks,
gonna get a
Brian.
message from Genevieve saying, "Hey, he didn't give me a hat."
Yeah.
I like it. Snooze, you lose.
congrats on the contract, man. That's huge.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Ryan. See you later.
So look, I'll think about
That's up to you, man. Do you not wear hats?
No, not really. So
Give her that.
I think Genevieve deserves it.
Well, in that case, tell her that I gave you. That only helps me out. Thank you, Cody.
You got it.
All right, guys. What's wrong with Mark? Mark's a great guy. You're friends with Mark.
Mark's my brother. I love him like this tomorrow.
Mark is sponsoring, or will be sponsoring, the Wingamania event through signage and whatnot. And so I want to give Mark a little TLC. And also, and candidly, I feel like, not that they do it for that purpose, but candidly, I think it goes unnoticed how much they do for the community. Like in terms of sign sponsorships, and like we know about it because we know them, but like I want Baton Rouge to know that shit's not free. That stuff is so. Palermo wants me to talk on the radio about the cigars in the. I'm a whore, dude. I just do what I'm told. Okay. Jamie, and then we'll knock this out. Jamie, mood rock. Come on. She was at. I told Taylor, you can tell me you're welcome later. Or thank you later. Cute. So 15 seconds. Listen to Geaux Rouge. Listen to Geaux Rouge on Saturdays at noon on Talk 107.3. I got it. I can feel it. Arts, culture, business. Listen to these things and more on Saturdays at noon on Talk 107.